Tonight at 5, Roger Sharp with a report card on education.
You have to be able to read, and you have to be able to write.
It's improving, but is it good enough for your child?
Then at 6,
I love to be pregnant.
surrogate mothers.
She just rented the space in her body for a little while.
Tom Snyder reports on Mothers for Rent, a growing business.
Watch Eyewitness News, plus report card on education at 5.
And Mothers for Rent at 6 tonight.
James Garner on location, 7:30 tonight.
Why don't I hear something? Why didn't somebody call? Camilla might be... Oh, no. Stop it. Don't think about it. She's all right. She has to be. What was she doing with Spencer Varney, anyway? I thought she was through with him. Oh, ring, damn you, ring! The news. Maybe there's something on the news.
Police report there are no suspects in the random shooting Tuesday night of insurance broker Joseph Barnaby, although his ex-wife is being sought for questioning. And now the sports, brought to you by Monticello National Bank. The Cincinnati Reds rallied in the 9th inning today for a 6-5 win over the Houston Astros. The Dodgers beat San Diego 7-6 in a 13-inning cliffhanger. In the American League, the Yankees against the Red Sox were rained out in Beantown, while Texas down Baltimore 9-3. Minnesota over Seattle 6-2, and the Cleveland Indians buried Toronto 12-2.
Oh, who cares? Who cares? Come on.
Now the weather. A dense fog continues to cover the area, and rain...
It's all I have to do is to look out the window.
Ringing the doorbell for the last 5 minutes.
I was listening to the news. I was hoping I could hear something about the accident. Have you heard anything?
Yes. Well, that is,
Oh, yes, man. What was it?
we managed to get an underwater rescue team to the site where the car went off the bridge.
And?
This isn't good news, I'm afraid.
Oh, don't beat about the bush, Chief Mallory. Give it to me straight.
All right, we found the car. It was pretty smashed up from the impact. It was submerged in about 12 feet of water. It wasn't an easy task on a night like this, I'm sure you can imagine. The river's very swollen with the heavy rains.
Oh, God. They found Camilla.
No, Mr. Dever, actually, we didn't. There were no bodies in the car.
But you found the car. What happened?
Well, the thing is, you see, there is a very strong undertow at that section of the canal. I'm afraid we have to assume that everyone in the car was drowned and that the bodies have been washed away.
Oh, God, no.
We will drag the area. Tomorrow, of course. But, unfortunately, I've got to tell you, we don't hold much hope.
Well, it isn't much, but it's only $18 a night.
It'll be fine. Just fine. Here. Sorry, it's wet. Keep that. Anything to get out of the rain.
Car broke down, huh?
That's right. We had to leave our luggage in the car. We must have walked for miles before we got caught in that sudden downpour.
A veritable river of water.
Well, you got a roof over your heads anyway. Better get out of those wet clothes. Good night.
Good night.
What name did you sign on the register?
Mr. and Mrs. Diamond.
How fitting.
Uh-huh.
No, what a dump.
No, I apologize for the accommodations. But I promise you, this is the last time you'll stay in a dump like this. From now on, it's the Savoy, the Ritz, the Plaza.
Well, that sounds wonderful, Spencer. I can't wait. Oh. But for right now, let's take the manager's advice and get out of these wet clothes.
Oh, you're right. I could use a nice hot bath.
The Edge of Night is brought to you by Mountain Grown Folgers, Mountain Grown coffee, the richest kind. And by Jif. Choosy mothers choose Jif.
You're listening to a cantaloupe?
I'm listening to the cantaloupe talk to me. Say it's fresh and ripe.
Why are you taking so much time to be a careful shopper?
I have 3 children and a husband, and I want them well fed.
Are you as choosy about your peanut butter?
I'm choosy about everything I buy.
Fine. Let's compare.
Which of these leading brands tastes more like fresh peanuts?
A tastes more like fresh peanuts.
You sure?
It tastes like real peanuts.
You chose.
Jif! I'm surprised.
More women choose Jif for fresh peanut taste than any other leading brand.
Tastes like real peanuts. I'm shocked. Can I have some more?
Choosy mothers choose Jif.
Something's been missing from today's automatic drip coffee makers. Now, it's here. Introducing delicious new Folgers automatic drip coffee.
This new grind is Folgers' latest advance for today's coffee makers. You see, today's machines brew so fast that the wrong coffee grind can leave flavor behind. New Folgers automatic drip is specially ground. Really lets Folgers' rich mountain-grown flavor come through fast. Delicious. And Folgers is a coffee recommended by Mr. Coffee. So don't miss out on Folgers mountain-grown flavor from today's coffee makers. Get new Folgers automatic drip coffee.
Warm now?
Oh, Spencer, you always warm me up.
Oh, my God, Camilla, do you know how lucky we are?
Oh, yes. I've never been so terrified in my life.
How did it all start, anyway? I remember seeing you get into that car, and then that wacko rapped me on the back of the head. And that faint recollections of speeding in that car, sitting there with you, and then all that water rushing in.
Everything happened so fast. I was waiting for you in front of the rock garden, and this man came up and abducted me.
Who was that man?
I don't know. I've never seen him before. All I know, it had something to do with Ian. He kept speaking about Ian. He stopped once to make a phone call to Ian. So I figure he was blackmailing him, using me as a hostage. And you were an innocent bystander.
Innocent. Well, worked out the best for us anyway. We're safe, and we're dead.
Do you think there's anything about us on the news yet?
Let's find out.
A city council meeting today defeated the proposition in a 5-4 vote. And this just in, a wild car chase ended in tragedy this evening when state police pursued a black limousine heading north on Route 311. Police report the car, traveling at speeds of 85 and 90 miles an hour, skidded and plunged off the Little Neck Bridge into the Monticello River. An underwater rescue team has been unable to recover the bodies of the 2 known passengers, Spencer Varney and Camilla Devereaux, residents of Monticello. So far, the identity of the driver is unknown. The stock market rallied today.
Well, it's official.
I suppose it's thrilling in a way. But I don't know, Spencer. I'm having second thoughts about dying.
What do you mean?
Ian, he's going to be devastated by this news.
Oh, Camilla, what can I say? We all have to go sometime.
Oh, I know, but Ian's going to take this so hard. He's been going through a lot. And I know he's going to feel responsible for my death.
Now listen to me. I honestly believe that in time, he will get over it.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they're going to hold a memorial service for us.
Well, if they do, funny lady, we are not going to be in attendance. Yes, Camilla, being dead is going to have distinct advantages.
Yes, that's what you tell me. I wish you'd show me, though. I mean, I think it's high time I saw my reason for dying.
And so you shall. Don't you think that this is definitely worth dying for?
I love you for wanting to help me by trying to prove that Preacher was Nora's murderer.
Yeah, but why didn't you take your suspicions to the police, Jody?
Because the police would have told me they didn't have enough to go on. They'd already checked him out.
Well, I know you're disappointed, but now that it's over, there's at least this advantage. You don't have to see the guy anymore.
Do you know what Preacher told Calvin? He said he didn't want to see me anymore.
Oh, well, then it's mutual. That should make you very happy.
No, it doesn't. He's mad, and I can't blame him. I did something very wrong. I not only suspected him once, I suspected him twice, and I think I owe him an apology.
Write him a letter.
Come on, that's the easy way out. I really think that I should face him.
I don't think that's such a good idea. Why can't you just leave well enough alone?
He's already told Calvin he doesn't want to see you.
Well,
Isn't
if
that
I
plain
walk right into the video disco, there's no way he can avoid me. He's certainly not going to throw me out.
Well, I wouldn't put anything past him.
Miles, come on. You have to admit, I gave him a raw deal.
Judy, I wish
and I wish that you would
once.
try to understand that this is something I have to do. Now, excuse me.
Yes?
Excuse me, Mr. Whitney, you got a phone call.
Who is it?
Some guy named Copeland.
I don't know him.
Well, he said he was very insistent, you know.
You really want to talk to me, huh? All right.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Mr. Whitney? Yes. Lester Copeland calling. I wonder if I might come over and see you this evening.
Well, I'm afraid I don't recognize your name, Mr. Copeland, nor do I know what this is about.
Well, sir, it's something very important. You see, your aunt, Geraldine Saxon, asked me to call you.
My aunt? Yeah, very well. In that case, I'll expect you.
Fine. Within the hour, Mr. Whitney. Thank you.
Yeah, bye. Who's Lester Copeland? You have any idea?
I have no idea at all, Mr. Whitney.
Oh, well. It was a rhetorical question I actually got through. One that does not require an answer.
Oh, how's that?
Like the doorbell. The doorbell does require an answer. Would you get that, please?
No. Yes, sir. Oh, it's you.
Yeah, well, don't turn blue, Gunther. I'm only here to see Mr. Whitney.
Yeah, okay, come on. Mr. Whitney, it's Detective Stoner.
Hello, Detective. What brings you out here?
I'm afraid I have some bad news for you, Mr. Whitney. At least I assume it's going to be bad news.
What is it?
Mr. Whitney, Spencer Varney's dead.
I love the honest wheat taste of Kellogg's Mini Wheats. But the frosting side agrees with the little kid in me.
To the wholesome wheat, I happily say, I do. But the little girl in me loves the frosting, too.
Kellogg's regular and apple frosted mini wheat cereals. Now we've added even more apple taste.
Crunchy shredded wheat is really on the ball, but the frosting side tastes mighty good to guys who don't think small.
What's that Frosty Mug sensation? Well, it's...
rich, creamy,
smooth,
refreshing, frosty.
Chug-a-lug, very, very frosty. Hey.
And W, glug,
Glug, glug.
delicious, good time,
All American.
out of this world, for sure.
So that's the Frosty Mug sensation. No?
I know.
I know.
I know.
A&W, that Frosty Mug sensation.
Jody's running true to form, isn't she? When she decides to do something, there's no stopping her.
We should have tried harder.
Oh, please, we dropped about 1,000 hints. She just doesn't want to pick them up. All right, if she feels that strongly about it, let her apologize. Let her get it over with.
I have such an uneasy feeling about her. I think she's really attracted to him. I mean, I know her desire to help me was genuine, but I think she has some leftover feelings. Every time we bring up the subject, she gets very defensive.
I don't think very much of her choice.
Neither do I.
He's here.
Gavin.
Hi. Hi, Miles.
Have a seat.
So
Oh,
wet.
thanks. I was hoping I'd find you here.
Oh?
Yeah, I thought maybe Jody would be with you.
Well, she was until a few minutes ago.
Yeah, did she tell you my news?
Well, she said that you had decided not to go to New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what made you change your plans?
Well, Jody, when I heard that
That fake detective thing she was pulling on Preacher? Preacher, oh. I guess I've always been a little jealous of him. Anyway, when I heard she wasn't playing it for real, going away from Monticello didn't sound so appealing anymore.
I see.
Well, you know, I know that doesn't change things between me and Jody, especially since she still blames me for you going on trial.
Gavin, has Camilla Devereaux changed her plans about going to New York?
I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter. I've changed my feelings about Camilla. I mean, she's an okay lady, but she's just not right for me.
You've never gotten over Jody, have you?
No. I know she's gotten over me, though. Yeah, I still feel the same way about her. You know, after the trial, I'm gonna try to get her back. I'm gonna appreciate all the help I can get.
Lost something?
No.
Well, let me help you find your way out. It's the same way you came in. I told the man at the front door your free pass had been canceled.
I paid my own way in.
Oh, did you really? Well, have yourself a real good time, all right?
Time to put the trail on the donkey.
Wrong, Mom.
It's time for the Pringles jingle. Huh? Once you taste the flavor, then you get the fever. Then you got the fever for the flavor of a Pringles.
Once you taste the fluffer, you need help. Once you taste the flavor, then you get the fever. Then you got the fever for the flavor of a Pringles.
Yeah! Once you taste the flavor, it's the deep fried taste. Then you get the fever. It's the crispy crunch. Then you got the fever for the flavor of a Pringles.
Wait till you taste Pringles now.
Inside every Duncan Hines brownie, there's a deep, dark difference.
Looks mighty chocolatey.
How does it taste?
Deep, dark, and delicious.
You don't say.
The deep, dark difference in a Duncan Hines brownie is its chocolatey moistness. Compared to another leading mix, ours are chocolatier and moister.
Want to try one?
Yes.
Deep, dark, and delicious.
Duncan Hines brownies.
Deep, dark, and delicious.
Okay, milk.
Right.
Egg.
Right.
Bounty.
Mercantiles.
Wrong.
Rosie, they're cheaper than Bounty.
Come on, you're going to learn the difference between right and wrong. Watch. A penny's worth of Bounty against a penny's worth of an average bargain brand.
The cheaper brand just can't absorb as much.
But that penny's worth of Bounty's still absorbing.
So Bounty can be cheaper to use.
Right. Bounty's the best way I know to save dough.
Right.
You're learning.
Too quick on the downslide, are you? What, I got to draw you a picture or what?
I just want to talk to you.
You want to talk? Use the phone.
Please.
I don't want to hear
Just
a damn
listen to
thing
me.
you got to say to me. I guess the message didn't come too loud and clear from your friend the cop, did it, huh? I said I don't want to ever see your pretty little mug again. You understand me?
Well, after tonight, you won't have to worry.
What's holding you back, baby? It ain't gonna change.
Because I just want to say something to you. I'm sorry. All right, I was wrong. I was wrong about you twice. You're rude. So maybe you won't accept my apology, okay? But I had to make it anyway.
Oh, just to make yourself feel better, right? Huh?
I guess.
Feel better, does it?
A little.
It's moving, real moving. You came here and did what you had to do, right? Made your big dramatic speech. Why don't you go back to the penthouse where you belong? Feel good about yourself there, because I'm sure your brother-in-law and your sister will give you a great big round of applause, won't they? Huh?
Well, I'm really sorry you feel that way, but I guess I understand.
Oh, that's a joke to me. You know, that's too bad I forgot to laugh, huh? Let me tell you something. There's a chosen few that come in here. When they leave, the door is open. When they come back, the door is locked. Understand? Consider yourself one of the few.
Well, like I said, after tonight, it won't matter.
Good. Hey, little girl.
Let go of me. I don't want to dance. I'm not in the mood
big
for this
hurry?
nonsense. Are you deaf? I said I don't want to
Get off
dance.
of me. Jump back here, I'll bust you right in the face. Move on.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Don't worry about it, brown eyes. just doing my job.
But I can't believe it. Camilla's gone.
You had no other family?
No. It was just the two of us.
I'm really very sorry to hear that.
I'm the one who's responsible. You know, the worst fear that I've had throughout my career was not for my own safety, but for the safety of the ones I love, that they should be harmed. And now it's happened.
It wasn't your doing, not directly.
Oh, yes, but it was. Indirectly. It almost happened to my ex-wife, Patricia. Somebody wanted some information from me. They threatened to kill her if I didn't oblige. So I forced her to go into hiding, against her will. Of course, she hated it.
Look, this may not be the time to remind you, I know, but you play with some very dangerous characters. And now I'm certain that Patricia Devereaux did lose her life because of something that somebody wanted from you.
Oh, please. I can't stand to think that I'm responsible for the deaths of two people. The worst part of it is Camilla. Poor Camilla.
That'll be my car. He said he wanted to see you.
Oh, no, please.
No, I'm afraid the district attorney needs to talk to you. I'll give it.
Mr. Devereaux?
Mr. Carr.
I just heard the news about your sister. I'd like to express my deepest sympathy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I know this comes at a bad time, and I'm afraid I have no choice but to ask for your cooperation. I might add, it could improve your chance, since you're in a rather precarious position.
I don't understand. What do you want?
I'll make it brief. I've just spoken to the director of the CEA, and he has promised to grant you immunity from prosecution if you'll help in the capture of David Cameron.
I see. You want me as the cheese in the trap.
You wanna be a model, it's a nervous time for you. You're feeling so tense, but frame after frame, your style is coming through. Soft and dry roll-on will help hide when you're nervous inside.
Soft and Dry creates a new roll-on. Its dryer formula dries super fast to fight nervous perspiration better than the leader.
Soft and dry roll-on will help hide when you're nervous inside.
No soft food gives your dog what Milk-Bone dog biscuits can. A teeth-cleaning crunch. Crunch, 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 crunch. Crunch, 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 crunch.
100% nutritious Milk-Bone dog biscuits help remove stains, tartar, and particles soft foods leave behind for cleaner, whiter teeth.
Crunch, 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 crunch.
Milk-Bone dog biscuits, the crunch food for over 75 years.
Monday, an ABC network television premiere.
Murder?
Anyone could have done it.
You can't pin that on me.
Me? Me?
Everyone had a reason. Betty Davis.
It's incredible.
Mia Farrow, Maggie Smith, and Peter Ustinov. Death on the Nile.
Spencer is dead. I can't believe it.
Yeah, well, apparently that nut who was driving that car led the police in one hell of a chase till he finally skidded and careened off the bridge. I'm afraid there was no chance of survival for any of the occupants, either Spencer Varney or Camilla Devereaux, who was with him.
And he was with Camilla. Well, what happened? What were they doing in that car in the first place?
Well, we have an eyewitness at the restaurant where it all started. It appears that Cliff Nelson saw this limousine go speeding away with Spencer Varney and Camilla in the back seat. I guess the rest you know.
Do you know anything about a man named Cameron?
Yes. As a matter of fact, we think this attacker was working for Cameron.
Wow, poor Spence. Yeah, I really feel bad about this, Mr. Whitney. Hey, wait a minute. You know, I remember borrowing $10 from him last week. How am I going to pay him back?
Send them flowers, Gunther.
Well, where? I mean, you heard the detective. They didn't recover a body, right?
That's correct.
He was a good man. I mean, the two of us had differences from time to time, but I'll miss him.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, well, that must be my visitor, Mr. Copeland.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be running along now, Mr. Whitney.
Yeah, thanks for coming by, Detective. I appreciate it.
Certainly, sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Good night.
Good night.
Hi, Miss Stone.
Go on,
Come on. Mr. Whitney, it is Mr. Copeland.
Mr. Copeland.
Good evening, sir.
Perhaps you'd be so good as to tell me the reason for your visit.
Oh, yes, indeed. I'd like to do so in privacy.
You said something on the phone about my aunt.
Yes, so I did. But before I explain, do I look at all familiar to you?
I can't place the face.
If I said I was Judge Copeland?
You're the one who married the Devereaux, aren't you?
Quite right, Mr. Whitney. That's what your aunt sent me out to tell you about.
I don't understand. What's this all about?
Well, primarily, it's about the fact that I'm not a judge. I have to admit, I'm a bit ashamed of what I did. You see, I'm a freelance actor. And you know how tough showbiz can be, ups and downs and all that. And frankly, I was glad to have a job at last, even a one-day shot.
My aunt hired an actor to perform the ceremony?
That's correct, Mr. Whitney. It was all a fake, right down to the documents. In fact, the Devereaux aren't really married.
Grandma, help! Mom expects me to clean this greasy, dirty floor, and we're out of floor cleaner.
Nonsense. There's a great floor cleaner.
409? But it's for greasy stoves, counters.
Sally, 409's great on greasy, dirty floors, too.
Watch how 409 special grease dissolvers cut through greasy floor dirt on contact.
It is great on floors.
Wow, now that's clean.
We found a new floor cleaner.
Formula 409 cuts greasy floor dirt on contact.
Use sandpaper to clean your stovetop? Ridiculous. Yet if you're cleaning with scouring powder, you're probably using the same harsh, scratchy abrasives found in this sandpaper, and that can be rough on your stovetop. That's why Soft Scrub is better. It's a liquid cleanser that cleans like a scouring powder, but because it has milder abrasives, it doesn't scratch like one. Soft Scrub cleans even tough spills like this, but leaves no sandy grit. Try Soft Scrub. Cleans like a scouring powder, but doesn't scratch like one.
This is Joan London. Tomorrow on Good Morning America, a report on changes in divorce laws. Mark Hamill talks about the return of the Jedi, and we'll meet Barbara Walters and Billie Jean King on Good Morning America.
Tonight on ABC's World News Tonight, America fights cocaine abuse with hotlines, hospital care, even treatment groups like coke enders.
Little toot?
No thanks, it's all yours. Do you know someone who needs help? Tonight, watch ABC's World News Tonight with David Brinkley.
There's something really delicious in this week's newspaper. Look for Dunkin' Donuts money-saving coupon in your local newspaper.
Short on help, guess who's waiting tables?
Stop giving orders in the box!
Happy days! Then it's the return of Joni Loves Chachi in an all-new episode.
Things are good.
And Joni. An old boyfriend eyes Joni.
Things are bad.
Joni Loves Chachi.
20 years, great memories.
General Hospital has always been a leader in love and romance, but it was the Quartermains who brought passion to Port Charles. We Quartermains really showed the men of America how to get the love and respect of a good woman.
See you around, hot lips.
Or the love and respect of two good women.
Susan, you're getting carried
Here.
Take your mink coat.
I can still hear my father's golden rule.
What is it? You're the captain of your ship. She walks the plank.
Goodbye. And every Quartermain knows you have to be firm with a woman.
I climbed the outside stairs of the cottage. I fired 2 shots at close range, killing both my wife and her lover.
But above all, a true Quartermain never lets a woman get the upper hand. You were saying?
Look over your left shoulder.
Happy anniversary, General Hospital.